Showtime is here, no time to fear. Karel is so near because showtime is here. So on with the show, let's give it a go. Karel is the one that you need to know. Now it's showtime.
Holidays are about food, but you have no idea how much it really takes to feed your state. We're going to talk about that today. Also, we're going to talk about holiday pet peeves, one of my favorite topics, things that just piss you off.
Uncensored, unfiltered, unhinged. It's the Karel Cast. Listen daily on your favorite streaming service.
Well, it is the Karel Cast. I am Karel. Happy Tuesday, December 23rd. That's it. Tomorrow is Christmas Eve. The day after is Christmas. And then, goodbye. It's gone again for another year. Although when you put away the ornaments, it seems like you're taking them back out just 2 weeks later. I don't know about y'all, but as you age, do you find the years just really fly by? Like, really fly by. It's like totally fly by. I find that they do. I really do. I got a lovely text last week that I didn't share. But it's from a woman who graduated high school in 1962, the year I was born. And she said she worries about me because I worry too much. And I do worry a lot. I do. I really do. Sorry, my glass was on the wrong place on my ear. And it's funny because the topic that I had slated for today, my little spreadsheet of topics here, the beginning topic, we talk about miracles at Christmas. A Christmas miracle. And the movies we talked about yesterday, a lot of them have Christmas miracles in them. And there's a great song by Denise Williams, but it's gonna take a miracle. And I was thinking today, which is unusual for me, you all know that's not true. I was thinking that I don't believe in miracles. I believe in extraordinary things that happen that seem miraculous. Well, let me rephrase, okay? Because I do believe in miracles. Like when a baby is born, that's a miracle. I mean, that's just like, wow. You made a human. That's incredible. And there are so many things in life that are miraculous. Views. You'll stop and just, the view in Ireland. There have been so many times when we were motorcycling through Ireland where Brandon and I just pulled over and stopped, and Daniel was in the car behind us, pulled over and stopped and just looked at this miraculous view. Gorgeous, rolling green hills and ocean, and just, God, I wish I could live there. I do. Just beautiful, beautiful country. So I do believe in miracles, but not the kind that most people believe in. I don't believe in miracles from God, because I don't believe in God. And I don't believe in supernatural woo-woo miracles. But I do know that things are miraculous. Ember is miraculous. What a miraculous thing dogs are. They are unconditional love. They adore us. They die too soon, but they're miracles. They're just little miracles. And I was thinking about that today because given what's going on even this week, which I said I'm not going to talk about Trump or politics on the week of Christmas or New Year's, so I'm trying not to. Last week his press conference was enough to keep me going for 2 months, but whatever. Or his nighttime address. Unless he drops dead, then we'll talk about that over the holidays. We'll have a festa. That would be a miracle. I started thinking in a down moment, because in the holidays you go up and down, about what it's going to take to turn the world around. Not just the U.S., but the world is headed in the wrong direction, and we don't need to be. We have the total ability to be headed in the right direction. We have the best technology now ever, AI and many other things. The technology is incredible. We have access to so many miraculous things that we could be headed in the total right direction. But we're not. And I was wondering, what Christmas miracle do we need? And how are we going to get it? How are we going to get this Christmas miracle? And then I thought to myself, maybe we already have it. Very Wizard of Oz. Maybe the power to right our ship has been ours all along. Maybe we, you and I, the fact that we share this time together, maybe we are the Christmas miracle that we need. Maybe we're enough. Maybe we are enough of a miracle because we can do miraculous things. In Australia, the guy that tackled the gunman, that was miraculous. Maybe we're the miracle that we need this Christmas. Maybe.
If you're not visiting reallykarel.com daily, you're missing out. Get the podcast, videos, and the blog, including recipes at reallykarel.com. That's really Karel.com.
Showtime is here, no time to fear. Karel is so near because showtime is here. So on with the show, let's give it a go. Karel is the one that you need to know.
You know, I'm not done thinking about this topic yet. It's the holidays. We can just chit chat. Because I hear a lot that, there's no, and in the new year, I don't want this next year to be like last year. And so we hear a lot, Miss Ember, what are you doing pacing around? I hear you pacing around. What are you doing? Come on in here, honey. Come on. It's a Christmas show. I've got a hat on. Come on. So I hear a lot of people over the holidays say, well, there's nothing I can do. There's nothing I can do. Like next year, there's nothing I can do. I can't change Donald Trump's mind. I can't get him out of office. I can't, I only have so much power. I can vote, and that's about all I can do. Other than that, what else can I do? I hear that a lot. What else can I do? It's going to take a miracle. And there's a lot that each of us can do. We just forget. And just like I said that we are the miracle, we are also the answer. The answer to every single problem is us. You and me. We're the answer. There's no problem that you and I can't solve if there's the will. And that's what we need going into the new year on this Christmas Eve. That's what we need more than anything. The will. The will to keep going. The will to keep fighting. The will to make changes. Maybe the will to leave the country. We need the will. Because where there's a will, there's a way. And I think Trump and this last year has done a lot to beat the will out of us. And Christmas is about renewal. It's about celebrating joy and love and peace and happiness and about looking towards the new year. It's about giving. I still want your comments from yesterday. I asked for your comments about what the Christmas spirit means to you. What's the real Christmas mean to you? This last year has tried to just beat us down in every aspect. Financially, it's tried to rob us. I sent myself something. Where is it here? Oh, yeah. How much do you need to be in the top 10% of your state or of the country? How much money do you need to be in the wealthiest 10% of the U.S. households? Nationally, it's $210,000 a year and holdings of $1.8 million in net worth. That would put you in the wealthiest 10% of Americans. And if we say the wealthiest 10% out of 335 million people, that means only 33 million people. Think about that. The wealthiest to be in the top 10% of wage earners, you have to make $210,000 a year or have $1.8 million in net worth. That means only 34 million people have that. That means 306 million people or more are not. They're in the 90%. They're not in the top 10%. I'm not in the top 10%. Most of you aren't in the top 10%. We're in the 90. And yet, every business I know this Christmas has crafted their business around the top 10%. Hotels charging huge fees, rental car companies, grocery stores. Everything around us is really built as if we're all in the top 10%. But really, that means 90% of us don't make $210,000 a year. And in today's world, that's not that much money. And 90% of us don't make that. As a household, not just individually, as a household. 210 grand. 90% of us don't make that. That's something. That's something. So when I think about miracles and Christmas miracles, I think about frustration. People saying, it's going to take a miracle to fix this. No, it's going to take people with the will to fix it. People with the strength, with the stamina, with the intelligence to fix it. The midterms are coming up this next year. There's a Christmas gift for you. The midterms are coming up. Hopefully, Democrats will win big, win control of the House and Senate, and put an end to this madness. Next Christmas, we may be celebrating the end of Trumpism. Wouldn't that be a miracle? See what I mean by what is a real miracle? Wouldn't that be a miracle? If next Christmas, because of the midterms, we're actually celebrating the end of Trumpism. That would be something. That really would be something. Because, look, the holidays are stressful, no matter how you slice it. Now, some of you have no stress over the holidays, and I hate you. I absolutely hate you. Most people are stressed. Oh, my God. I used to stress. I used to be a Christmas Eve shopper. I'm not anymore. But when Andrew was alive, I was a Christmas Eve shopper. And I would get so stressed on Christmas Eve out shopping. Oh, I'd get so stressed. Parking lot stress, just store stress, just all kinds of stress. One Christmas Eve, I went out shopping while Andrew and Emily stayed home drinking Veuve Clicquot. I got home so stressed, and they laughed at me so much because they were buzzed on the Veuve Clicquot. I got so mad. Oh, Emily still talks about it. I got furious because I was stressed. Holidays are stressed. They make you feel bad if you don't have enough money to share gifts that you want to share. The new year is coming. There's pressure to be better, to be different, to make changes. Families gather, and that's stressful. So the holidays are stress, and you got to get rid of that stress, by the way. Don't carry it through this week. Today is Christmas Eve. And don't be stressing about tomorrow. Don't be stressing about Thursday. Andrew used to have a saying. I would always stress out about going places. I was always on a schedule, even when we were vacationing. We got to leave. We got to get to the airport at this time. We have to get to, or going to a party. We got to leave. We got to get to the party at this time. And Andrew would always say, I am not going to go if you're going to stress over something fun. If whatever we're about to do is supposed to be fun, I am not going to participate if you stress beforehand. And he kept that same view about Christmas and New Year's. He was like, if you're going to stress around Christmas, then we just won't celebrate. I'm not going to have it. He had HIV. He was like, I'm not going to have the stress. You want to stress? Then we'll just skip it. And that taught me a lot. And so I don't want you stressing today, tomorrow, Thursday. If you're going to Christmas with MAGA, don't go. If you have to go, get drunk or eat an edible. Medicate. Medication over the holidays is fine. That's why people drank at this time of year. That's why during Festivus and the other things that we're going to talk about tomorrow, that's why that happened. It was short days, long nights. They were bored. They were, stressed, so they drank. I'm not saying get drunk, but I am saying A little nog with some whiskey in it will do a lot to ease the holiday stress. So try not to be stressful. And remember, you can still practice self-care over the holidays. You can do yoga. You can go for walks. You can go to a spa day, if you want to. You don't have to, you do whatever you want. Just don't, overly stress. Because it really is huge this time of year. Holiday depression, holiday stress, people feeling stressed because they're not happy. Imagine being so unhappy that you're stressed about being unhappy. That's got to be terrible. Beating yourself up over not being happy. And people do, especially this time of year. They beat themselves up because they're not being happy. It's like, yeah, you know what? Save it. So holiday stress is real. And there's a lot of people out there telling you ways to relieve it. Meditate, take time out of the day for yourself. I say get high. Get an edible, have a drink, whatever. Get buzzed. Because as I said before, the true meaning of Christmas is surviving it. That's a lot of those movies, they don't even know it, but inadvertently they've shown the true meaning of, like Die Hard. The true meaning of Christmas, survive it. Get through it. You just got to get to Friday. Today's Tuesday. You just got to get to Friday. Get to Friday, let the stress go, start looking towards the new year. We're going to have midterms. Maybe Donald Trump will drop dead. We know he's unhealthy, sick, and dying. We know that. Maybe the holidays will stress him out so much he'll just keel over. What a happy new year that would be. So just get to Friday and then let it go. That's why I'm taking down my decorations this weekend. I don't know when y'all do. Some of you leave it up till past the new year. And I know there's the 12 days of Christmas. So the 12 days of Christmas start the 25th. That's when they start. The first day of Christmas is Christmas. That's the first day of Christmas. When your true love gives you a fucking partridge in a tree that's going to shit all over your yard. In fact, that whole song is filled with gifts that crap and eat. Turtle doves, maids a milking, which means you got to have cows. Lords a leaping, I like those. But, drummers drumming, going to keep you up all fucking night. Really, the 12 days of Christmas, I don't want half those gifts. I don't want drummers drumming. I ain't in a marching band. Maids a milking? What the hell do I need milkmaids for? Lords a leaping I'll take. All the birds, hens, French hens. I don't care if they have baguettes in their hands and wear berets. I don't need French hens. I don't eat them. What am I going to do with them? So, but the first day of the 12th day of Christmas is Christmas in 2 days. And then it goes for 12 days. And so a lot of you leave your Christmas stuff up for the 12 days of Christmas, which brings it well into January. I ain't leaving my stuff up till January. It's coming down Saturday. Okay? Saturday. Christmas goes back in the box, back into the closet. That's it. Done. Get rid of all the tinsel. Get rid of everything, all the wrapping paper. All you people that save wrapping paper. What the hell? Who are you? Oh, Karel, you never know. Nowadays, everything comes in a bag. You notice that? No one really wraps presents anymore. You get bags. Don't put my fucking gift in a bag. Wrap my damn gift. Bring it to when you buy a gift in a department store, they have a gift wrapping place. Do you know that Macy's has gift wrapping? If you buy something in Macy's, you can bring it to the gift department, the gift wrapping department. Most of them have a gift wrapping department. Or at Christmas, all those charity people are set up like in malls and stuff, and you can bring your gifts and drop them off, and they'll wrap them. Don't be putting shit in a bag, leaving it in the Amazon box. Oh, how many gifts do you get now in an Amazon box? That's depressing. I mean, a gift's a gift, and God bless them. Thought's a thought, but... And Amazon puts them in these... You pay $4 for a gift bag from Amazon, and it's like a muslin bag with a little bow on top. It's like, ick. But hey, who am I? Right now, I'd be grateful if I get any of those by Christmas. So, de-stress over Christmas, and we are the miracle. We are the Christmas miracle. We are all we need for the new year to make all the changes that we need to make. Don't feel powerless. Like, oh, what am I going to do? What am I supposed to do? How do I deal? How do I cope? That's why you get stressed, because you feel powerless. And look, in some cases we are. Trump signs an executive order. What the hell can we do about it? Not much. But that doesn't mean we should feel like we can't do anything about anything. We still can. On this Christmas Eve, just know that you're the only gift you need. You got it all. You're the gift that you need. So revel in that. All right, we are going to talk food because, some of you are already cooking for tomorrow or for Thursday or tomorrow and Thursday, because some people do Christmas Eve dinner, some people do Christmas Day. I do both. I love Christmas Eve more than Christmas Day, FYI. I do. For me, Christmas Eve is Christmas. I don't know about y'all, but for me, Christmas Eve is Christmas. It's dark and, the presents are all there. And I like to open presents on Christmas Eve. But we're going to talk food and the astounding amount that we eat and how it affects our climate and what we can do moving forward to help change them. Talk about that when we come back. Don't go anywhere. Also, pet peeves. Oh, yes. Holiday pet peeves. Oh, yes. And I want to hear yours down below. Oh, yes. Yes, I do.
Patreon is the way to show you care. Subscribe today if you dare. Keep the show on there. Patreon is the way. Now it's show time.
All right. Holiday pet peeves. Oh, the other day, because around the holidays, parking is one of them. Oh my God. People go crazy in parking lots over the holidays. I don't know why, but they just do. They lose all their fucking minds. It's really going to kill you to walk 30 extra feet. Look at your fat ass. You should be parking in Pacoima and walking here. But whatever. So the other day I was at the park. And I'm at the park every day. And there was a holiday gathering. It was over this last weekend. And it was a baseball holiday gathering. They were playing holiday baseball. They all had little Santa caps on, and they look kind of cute, these guys. But so they all have these big trucks because they all have their little dicks. And so, big truck, the bigger the truck, the smaller the penis. So I have mentioned this before, but Saturday, oh my God, something that happened to me once happened to me again. I couldn't believe it. I could not believe it happened twice, and it pushed me over the edge. Amber is peeing. We first got off the motorcycle, and we're walking a little bit, and she stops to pee. And a truck is backing in because they're men and they're assholes, and only men back into parking spaces. And the rule when you're parking is that your car is not supposed to encroach on the sidewalk. It's not. Oh, no. Every truck there was hanging over the sidewalk. So the sidewalk was basically almost useless. This one guy, just like happened to me 3 weeks ago, he was backing in and we were on the sidewalk and he nearly hit us with his truck. And when he got out, he smart-mouthed me and said it was my fault. Why are you standing behind my truck? And I'm like, dude, your truck is not supposed to be over the sidewalk. And he starts yelling at me again, just like this other guy did 3 weeks ago with his kid right there, waiting to go to baseball. And in the holiday spirit, I simply turned and said, you know what? You have a Merry fucking Christmas. That is such a pet peeve of mine. If I could get some sort of huge chainsaw and cut through the cars and the trucks right where the curb is, if I could do that, I would. If I were a cop, I'd ticket every single one of those motherfuckers. Pisses me off. Do not block the sidewalk with your behemoth vehicle, car or truck. Don't do it. What are some of your pet peeves? I'd love to hear down below. What are some of your pet peeves, particularly around the holidays? Another pet peeve of mine, no vegan options. This is 2025. Vegans have been around since the dawn of fucking mankind. In fact, early man were not carnivores. They were basically vegans. They had no refrigeration for the meat, and it wasn't easy to catch. They ate more fruits and nuts and berries and seeds and vegetables than they did meat. This notion that the carnivore diet is meat is just stupid. It wasn't. It's 2025. Have Christmas vegan options. Period. Just period. So many places are having special holiday menus and not even an option. That pisses me off. What other little holiday pet peeves do you have? Christmas music. I get tired of it at this point. I'm tired of it. I don't want to hear it anymore. I know tomorrow's Christmas Eve and then there's Christmas Day, but I'm so sick of Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas or All I Want for Christmas Is You or, Silent Night or Jingle Bells, which is a racist song. I'm tired of it. What else? Pet peeves. Anything about the Christmas tree that's a pet peeve of mine? Not really. I don't like those little wire hanger things. I really don't, because they all get bunched up. Can we sell wire hangers that don't find a way to group themselves all together so you got to shake and shake and shake and then it rains little wire hangers and then, Is there a better way? Do any of you have a life hack for to replace wire hangers for ornaments? Because they always get all messed up. That's a pet peeve of mine. What's some holiday pet peeves of yours? Put it down below. People, look, I am a vegan, but do not stuff your turkey with raw stuffing. Don't stuff a raw bird with raw stuffing and then put it in the oven. Don't do it. You cook the stuffing separately. And then if you want to put some cooked stuffing into the bird as you're finishing it off, fine. What do you stuff your turkey with, Karel? Well, I don't eat turkey. But if I did, I would put chopped onions, chopped celery, and some garlic inside the bird. Not stuffing. Salmonella from the bird goes into the stuffing, and if the stuffing doesn't cook fully, you can give your guest food poisoning. No stuffing in the bird. Oh, well, that breaks with tradition. Tradition was wrong. They didn't know shit about salmonella. Lord. That's a pet peeve of mine. No vegan options. People who don't know how to cook their damn turkeys. If you're going to cook a turkey, cook it right. Do you brine your turkey? No. Why the fuck not? A turkey is no good unless you brine it. Get an ice chest. Today, it's not too late. Get an ice chest today. Put your turkey in it today in a brine solution. Okay? People who don't cook proper holiday food. Upsets me. What else? What other holiday pet peeves do I have? People who want to sleep in on Christmas. I don't even care if you're single. What the fuck is wrong with you? It's Christmas morning. Get out of bed. Get up. Why are you texting me at 7 a.m. on Christmas Day? It's a holiday. You should have been awake at 5. It's Christmas. Get up. Have tea. Enjoy your tree. It's Christmas. Well, the beauty of not having kids, Karel, is we get to sleep in on Christmas. That's not beauty. That's lazy. It is Christmas frickin' morning. That's when miracles happen. Get up and experience the miracle. What else? What other Christmas pet peeves? I'd love to hear yours down below in the comment section or send them to comments@reallykarel.com. Or we are talking about food. I'm going to tell you about food and the amount of it and why we're really screwed as a world when it comes to climate change. I don't want to burst your Christmas joy bubble, but we've got some changes. You're not going to believe these numbers. You're not going to believe. We'll tell you when we return.
It's broadcasting from a completely different point of view. Yours. Listen daily to the Karel Cast on your favorite streaming service.
Showtime is here, no time to fear. Karel is so near because showtime is here. So on with the show, let's give it a go. Karel is the one that you need to know. Now it's showtime.
You wouldn't be a holiday without food, but how much food does your state really eat? Like, really? And where does it all come from? We're going to talk about that and so much more on this Christmas Eve Karel Cast.
Uncensored, unfiltered, unhinged. It's the Karel Cast. Listen daily on your favorite streaming service.
It is the Karel Cast. I am Karel. It's Christmas Eve. I am so glad you are joining me. I hope you're having a fun week. It's a holiday week. Many of you aren't working. Many of you are and blessed to be. But you know what I'm saying. It's a holiday week and next week too. So it's much lighter show-wise and much lighter everything. Unless, of course, Trump drops dead, in which case we'll probably have a party. But he wouldn't do us the decency of doing that over Christmas. I want to talk about food because, of course, Christmas Eve is about food. Christmas Day is about food if you're lucky enough to have it. If not, maybe you're out giving out to somebody, feeding people at the mission or giving away at food banks or whatever. Noble of you to do that. So let me tell you the genesis of this story, and then I'll get to the numbers. So I entertained, not in reality, maybe, no, I don't know. I entertained running for governor of the state of Nevada because Nevada's got some real problems, water being number one, just the first problem. And the second, food. If I were governor, I would only concentrate on things that everybody needs. Food, water, housing, clean air. Those four things would be my platform, the essentials. I'm the essential governor because I deal with only the essentials. All the other stuff, because when you think about housing, that homelessness falls under that. When you think of food, climate change, and water falls under that. So when you think of just the essentials, what does a human need? Air to breathe, so it should be clear. Did you see Delhi? Last week and this week, Delhi, they can't even go outside. Their air is so unhealthy in Delhi. They literally can't go outside. And that's going to be many cities. I saw extrapolations on Apple TV. So the basics, the essentials. I thought if I ran for governor, I would focus on the essentials. Food, water, air, housing. Those are the things that I would make my state lead the way in. And then all the other stuff would fall under it. And I started thinking about food, since I was thinking about running for governor. And I thought, Nevada doesn't grow shit. There's no farmland here really. And mainly because we're a desert and or mountainous and there's just, no place to grow food. There are some farms here, don't get me wrong, and some cattle ranches and some, there's some, but certainly not mass amounts. We're not California or the Midwest. And so I started thinking where do we get our food? And I just started going through my food in the house and all of the food people eat in Nevada is shipped in. Trucks, planes, trains, automobiles, camels. It's all shipped in. And we're a tourist destination. There's only 4.3 million people that live in the state of Nevada, but every year almost 2 million people come and visit and they eat. And so, a lot. Have you seen the buffets? So I started thinking, well, how much is that? If I were to run for governor and say I want Nevada to be self-sufficient, or if I were to run for president and say I want the United States to say I'm a vegan, And so I want the United States to make its own meat and dairy. I don't want us to have to import any meat and dairy because it's bad for the environment. How much would that be? Well, ChatGPT and I did some deep diving. And when I found the numbers for just Nevada for produce, I was gobsmacked. Because I envisioned being able to make these fabulous vertical gardens with solar power, hydroponics, so that doesn't take a lot of water, and geothermal for heating, in case it's temperate, the fruits and vegetables, using the natural resources to make big, beautiful vertical gardens. Well, I thought, how many would you need? We've got nothing but space, so we've got the room. And I thought, well, how many tomatoes do we eat in this state? Now remember, my state's just 4 million plus people. And when we come back, I'm going to give you the numbers, and you're going to see why climate change is such a problem. This explains it. And it's...
If you're not visiting reallykarel.com daily, you're missing out. Get the podcast videos and the blog, including recipes, at reallykarel.com. That's really KAREL.com.
Showtime is here, no time to fear. Karel is so near because showtime is here. So on with the show, let's give it a go. Karel is the one that you need to know.
All right, it is the Karelcast. I am Karel. Happy Christmas Eve, the day before Christmas Eve. I'll be here tomorrow. Tomorrow's show is going to be about the origins of Christmas. Why do we celebrate? What was it before? What did we keep? What did we leave? And how you celebrate. Also, I'll probably give you a recipe for eggnog without the egg. That's good. And we're going to talk about the origins of some of your favorite Christmas songs. I'm not going to play the Life in Segments video clip that I have from when I did it on Life in Segments because I did that last year. But we will be talking about the origins. Some of them might surprise you of Christmas songs. All right. So in my fantasy world where I was running for governor, I thought I want to make Nevada food self-sufficient. I think every state should make their state food self-sufficient. If I were president, I would push for that because the number one cause of climate change, our diet. 40+% of climate change is our diet. So the fact that we eat meat and dairy is the first problem. But even then, even if you're a vegan, which I am, and we're all doing, if you are, you're doing the right thing. It still takes room to grow the food. And even though it's less impact on the soil than meat and dairy and all that, it's better for the world to be a vegan. Your produce and your fruits and vegetables are being shipped halfway around the globe. I eat 2 cups of fruit a day. A majority of the fruit does not come from even the United States. So I thought to myself, if I were to run for governor, and I said, I'm going to make Nevada, self-sufficient for fruits and vegetables at least, not so much meat, but fruits and vegetables, how many vertical gardens am I going to need? So I went through just a couple big crops, like the biggies, and said, how much do we eat per capita, per person, then total pounds, and how many tons is that? And when I saw the numbers, I said, no wonder the planet is fucked. There are too many people trying to eat on planet Earth. 8 billion people on planet Earth. And you just never really think about how much food it takes to feed 8 billion people, because most of you don't do dinner parties. I do. So if I'm doing a dinner party for 4 people, I realize how much that food that's going to take. So apples, apple pie, apple sauce, apple cider, regular apples, just bite into an apple. We eat apples in a lot of different things. So the average person in Nevada eats 49.9 apples per pound. 45 pounds of apples a year. Now, I know that sounds like a lot. And remember, these per capita things, they really just take the amount that we use and divide it by the population of the state. That doesn't mean everybody in the state is eating 45 pounds of apples. Some people might be eating 130 pounds. Some restaurants might be using 5,000 pounds. But it's just a matter of they divide the number of people in the state into the total amount of apples that, so that's what these numbers are going to reflect. So it's 45.9 pounds of apple per person per year. That is 150 million pounds or 75,000 tons. 150 million with an M pounds of apples. 150,100,000. Can you imagine how many apples is 150 million pounds? This is just for Nevada. This is not for all 50 states. This is just Nevada. 150 million pounds. That means the United States eats billions with a B of pounds. Bananas. Who doesn't love bananas? 13 pounds a person, or 43 million pounds of bananas. Most bananas do not grow in the United States. Okay? Most do not. How many frequent flyer miles does 43 million pounds of bananas? How much fossil fuel? That's just Nevada. So we don't grow any bananas in Nevada. So that means we got to import 43 million pounds of bananas. Oranges, 27 pounds per person, or 88,300,000 pounds per year in Nevada of oranges. Some of those from California, some of those from Florida. 88 million pounds. Our brains can't even comprehend how much food that is. You have no idea how much space 83 million pounds of oranges would take up. And again, this is just Nevada. Okay? Cantaloupe, 19 million pounds. Not that much. I ate a lot of cantaloupe. 1 million pounds of that is me. But yeah, 19.9 million pounds, just Nevada, of cantaloupe. Or 10,000 tons, basically. Tomatoes, all uses. That means sauces and cooking and salads and everything. 102 million pounds. 102,700,000 pounds of tomatoes. Just Nevada. Which again means the U.S. eats billions with a B. Pounds. Potatoes is the big one. It's the largest of any crop. Potatoes, on average, people in Nevada eat 50 pounds a person. That's, it's like 4 pounds of potatoes a month. It's 161 million pounds. 161 million pounds. Bell peppers, 36 million pounds. Onions, 68 million pounds. Lettuce, 93.5 million pounds. Broccoli, 19.9 million pounds. Cauliflower, only 10.8 million pounds. Lentils, only 3 million pounds. The best source of protein around, and we're only eating 3 million pounds of it. That's probably a large portion belongs to me. Other dry beans and pulses, 31 million pounds. That's better. And rice, 85 million pounds. Now, when I was thinking about, how much does it take to feed Nevada, I did not realize that it took 100 million pounds of tomatoes and, 68 million pounds of onions, 150 million pounds of apples, or 185 million pounds of potatoes. They would take a lot of vertical gardens to grow all that. But they grow it somewhere. And that's just for our state. That's not for the entire United States. So let's talk about meat. I don't eat it, but let's talk about it. How much meat does the country, not just Nevada, but the country, how much meat does it use? Oh, wait, it opened the wrong file. Meat consumption, U.S. meat and seafood. Come on, open up. It keeps opening the wrong one. Unless I saved the wrong one. Oh, here it is. Okay. These numbers, oh my God. Now this is for the United States, not just Nevada. And as on Christmas Eve, tomorrow and Christmas, you're probably going to eat meat if you're not me. Chicken. Okay? Chicken. It's the most popular, by the way. 68 pounds of chicken for every American. For 340 million Americans. That's 22 billion with a B. 22.8 million pounds of chicken. 22 billion with a B. That is about 5.5 billion chickens that have to eat. They have to eat. The chickens have to eat feed and scratch and grain. They poop. They pee. They need space to live in. 5.4 billion chickens. Now remember, your brain can't comprehend a billion. You're hearing that number and you're going, that's a lot. You have no idea. That could stretch to Mars and back. That's how many chickens that is. Beef, 18.8 billion pounds, or 37 million cows. 37 million cows, and those 37 million cows each take 40 gallons of water a day. A day. These 37 million cows. Pork, 15.9 billion pounds, or 106 million pigs per year. Turkey, only 5 billion pounds, and 335 million turkeys, and most of those Christmas and Thanksgiving. Lamb and veal, only 435 million pounds, not billion. Seafood, 1.9 billion pounds of shrimp, 1 billion pounds of salmon, 900 million pounds of tuna, 364 million pounds of tilapia, and then other seafood, lobster, crab, catfish, 2.5 billion pounds. And that's just the United States with only 340 million people. So how much is the world consuming? Astronomical amounts. That's where climate change is happening. That's why climate change is happening. If it takes 5 billion chickens just to feed the U.S., how many does it take to feed the world? Well, over 100 billion chickens. If it takes 37 million cows to feed just the United States, it takes over 3 billion, with a B, cows to feed the world. This is why we are in the dilemma that we are in. If we only had a small population, you wouldn't need to be vegan. Eat what you want, because you're not mass producing so much that it's killing the planet. But because there's 8 billion people, including 340 million in the United States, as you heard from just the numbers for Nevada, there's an enormous amount of produce and fruits and vegetables and meat that's needed to meet our requirements. And we're only growing. We're not shrinking. We're growing. This has to change. We have to change the way that we produce our food. We have to. We cannot keep producing this much food on the land that we have. We just can't. So we are going to have to do vertical gardening. We are going to have to do, we might even have to put them up in the sky or have another planet or, it's a shit ton of food. And you know your ass is going to be eating a lot tomorrow and Thursday. You're going to be putting a dent in those numbers. All right, we will finish up the Christmas Eve show when we come back. You know, we talked a lot about pet peeves, things that piss us off. I'm going to talk about things that make me happy this holiday season. And then we'll finish off the show. So don't go anywhere except to my Patreon to become a patron. It's a great Christmas gift. Patreon.com/Willie Karel. That's Patreon.com/Willie Karel. And don't forget that you need to like and subscribe to all the videos, and you need to leave comments. I can't stress enough. Give me a Christmas gift. Leave a comment. It helps the algorithm pick us up. And don't forget to stream Karel, Karel, I Dance Because. Right now, after this show, give me a Christmas present and go stream Karel, Karel, I Dance Because. However you listen to music, YouTube, Spotify, Tidal, Apple Music, it's all there. Please go stream Karel, Karel, I Dance Because, and maybe even buy it. Maybe even buy it. That would be fun. All right, we'll finish up when we come back. Don't go anywhere, okay?
Patreon is the way to show you care. Subscribe today if you dare. Keep the show on there. Patreon is the way. Now it's showtime.
You know, on these numbers, 134 million pounds of lobster every year eaten in the United States. I wonder if that's just the tail and the claws, or if that's the weight of the whole lobster. Because you can't eat the whole lobster. Lobsters look like bugs. Don't eat a lobster. All right, it's Christmas Eve. Tomorrow is Christmas Eve. The day after is Christmas, if you celebrate. If you're Jewish, there's Hanukkah going on. There's Kwanzaa going. It's the holidays. So whatever holiday you're celebrating, it's now. Now is the time. And, you know, we talked about pet peeves like Salvation Army Santas. They piss me off. The CEO of Salvation Army makes a fortune. The workers at Salvation Army do not. It is them and Goodwill are two of the most exploitative agencies. And at Christmas, they act like they're out there giving presents to everybody. They're not. Toys for Tots I like. That's a positive thing on Christmas. That's the Marines. And all of those toys go to needy children. I always give to Toy for Tots. I also give at food drives on Christmas. I think that's very important to give food to food drives at Christmas. But don't give anything in those kettles. Those places don't need your money. They exploit people. So I was thinking that since we talked pet peeves, like those two I just mentioned, that we would also talk things that we're joyous about on this holiday season. Number one for me is you guys, of course. Another year of being with you. This is my 7th year, my 8th Christmas in Las Vegas, and my 7th Christmas doing shows in Las Vegas. I came to Vegas between Christmas and New Year's of 2017, and then moved here in March of 2018. So 7 years, 7 Christmases with you right here in Vegas. 7 years of the podcast from Vegas, 7 years of this podcast. And my YouTube videos still only get 300 views after 7 years. Jesus, I should quit. Kidding, but you know what I mean. Anyway, so what are we grateful for on this Christmas Eve? Well, I'm grateful that tomorrow, Christmas Eve, I will see Steve. I am grateful that I have a tree and a beautiful dog to lay under it. I'm grateful that I did get some presents, you know, that there are a few presents under the tree from Steve and, Heather, Jake, all that. I am grateful that Donald Trump is so sick. Crazy thing to be grateful for. But if he was in perfect health, it'd be much worse. But he's not. So there's a good chance in the new year that he'll be gone. So that's a Christmas Eve blessing. What are the other things I like about Christmas? I do like that around Christmas, we tend to be nicer. We just do. I don't know why. Some people tend to be meaner, but you know what I mean. Most people tend to be nicer at Christmas. And I do like that. What about you? What are some of the things you like about? I like the change in the weather. You know, here in Vegas, it's nice that it's not roasting. It's 70 still during the day, which is unseasonably hot. But at least it's not 120. So I do like the change of weather around Christmas. I do like talking to a lot of people that I don't normally speak to because they text, you know, but instead on Christmas they actually call. So that's very, very nice. I like all the color, all the lights. I wish we kept beautiful lights around all year long. I have been in the living room every night since I put up the tree on Black Friday. Every night. I don't come into the TV room to watch TV at night because the Christmas tree and the little Christmas tree and the patio Christmas ornaments, I can see them all from the sofa. And so I look at them. I think they're beautiful. Christmas lights are gorgeous. And I wish we were that decorative, you know, the rest of the year. But, you know, Christmas it's beautiful. It's a beautiful deal. Stores are decked out. Houses are decked out. I really love all the decoration of Christmas. I do. What about you? What are some of the things you love? I'd love for you to put it down below. We know what we don't like about Christmas, the commercialism, you know, the music after a while, you know, the stress of the holiday, the pressure to be happy, all of that. But I do love the decorations. I love family. And on Christmas, we tend to reach out to family a little bit more. I love some of the entertainment that's around that's not always around. You know, some of the shows that are on that aren't always on. That's great. I love the holiday movies we talked about yesterday, that we get to watch them at the holiday. That's really cool. It's a blessing if you have a tree. It's a blessing if you're having dinner or lunch with anybody. So what are some of the things you are happy about on this Christmas? I'm happy there are still some Democrats that are still fighting. Jasmine Crockett. My boy the vegan. What's his name? He's handsome. Cory Booker. You know, Cory Booker is still out there fighting. There's several Democrats that are still fighting. They're still trying. I'm grateful for them this Christmas. I'm grateful for the gift of people still trying to defend our rights. You know, I am. I'm grateful that in the new year we are going to be able to pick a new senator and congresspeople and maybe take back the House and Senate. That's a lovely thought this Christmas. So this Christmas, what are some of the things that you're happy about? I would love to hear them in the comments down below. What are some of the joys of Christmas this year? Do you have a new baby in the world? Do you have a new dog or a kitty? You know, did you make a new friend this year that you're celebrating with? What are some of the joys of Christmas that you have this year? Share them with us. Christmas is about sharing. So put it down below. So down below, A, put your pet peeves. B, put the things you're happy about. Okay? And boy, I don't know what you would comment about those food numbers. That's why climate change is such a big issue. Because those numbers are staggering. We eat so much food. I wonder if Ozempic is going to put a dent in those numbers at all. Like even just a little dent. Maybe. People aren't eating as much. So maybe. It might. All right, I am Karel. Be who you want to be. I'll be back tomorrow, Christmas Eve. We're going to be talking about the true origins of Christmas and discussing some Christmas music and the true origins of that. So we'll be talking about that tomorrow. Then on Christmas Day is my music day, the day that we are going to talk about all of my music, because it's Christmas. Why not have music? And some of the stories behind the song. So that's going to be this week on the show. Hope you join me. Thank you for joining me today. Be who you want to be, so don't hurt anybody. And don't forget to leave comments down below. It really does help me. Plus, I want to hear what you have to say about these things. Okay?
It's broadcasting from a completely different point of view. Yours. Listen daily to the Karel Cast on your favorite streaming service.